This video is for Fridman's podcast. My name is Matreshka and I'm Russian Jewish. I'm going to share my perspective on what is happening right now between Russia and Ukraine. It is a very heavy topic, so I will try not to cry a lot. Growing up in Russia, I have experienced some very bad things that happened to me. I have been shot and raped, and the police didn't even want to start a case, to open the case to look for people who have done that to me. And then in 2008, I came to the United States, and I was living for 8 years with supposedly a Russian officer who was also an American citizen, who was very abusive and did a lot of terrible things to me that make me, and I hate saying this word because I'm working on overcoming it, a victim of human trafficking. After spending 8 years with him, I ended up spending some time in federal prison and an immigration detention center, fighting for my right to stay in the United States. I still don't know if that person was a Russian officer or not, but if he was or is, he definitely represents Russian officers in a very negative light. He also tried to convince me throughout the years that Putin is doing the right thing and he is doing everything within his power to try to make Russia the greatest country that it can possibly be. And although there might be some truth to the motives behind the actions, but what the entire world sees right now and the amount of suffering that he's causing right now to people all over the world, not just in Ukraine. Thousands of Russian soldiers dying, thousands of Russian mothers crying because they lost their sons, all the Ukrainian people that died, the sanctions that Russian people experience, the entire country right now, that lead to them not being able to get some medicine, the United States Postal Services canceling their relationship with Russia, and me not being able to send the medicine to my nephew right now in Russia. It affects much more people than we can possibly see or feel right now, not to mention all the kids that are going through this, who are going to grow up with probably severe post-traumatic stress disorder and many other mental issues. I have friends in Ukraine who are sending me videos of what is happening to them. And even at the very furthest point away from Russia, they are having daily sirens that tell them that they have to go to the safe place. I'm not sure what's the right word in English it is for that. And their children growing up by helping their parents participate in this war. The war that Russian people are not even allowed to call the war, because the only term you can use for that is a special military operation. The narrative that is shown to Russian people on pro-government TV channels is very different from what the rest of the world sees in social media through thousands of accounts of people who post what is actually happening around them. And although there are both sides that are mentioning that some of it is fake, but all of it cannot be fake, no matter how much somebody may want to portray it as it is fake information. Being a Russian person throughout this makes me incredibly shameful to be Russian right now. It's the first time in my life that I feel ashamed to be Russian because of what my president is doing currently. And it wasn't until I talked to my mother and I told her what I was planning to do, and she blessed me with doing it, that I decided to go ahead and actually make this video, because making this also can mean that I will not be able to see my family, and all my family is still in Russia for many, many years to come. There is no winning right now. If you're Russian and you support Ukraine, then Russia looks at you as if you are a traitor. If you don't support the Ukraine, and I mean, most of us have friends living there, friends who are going through that right now, and friends who live far away, whose families are there, who are talking to them, and every single time they talk to them on video, they know that it might be the last time that they spoke to them. You cannot not support your friends who are right now suffering, whose family members are dying. And at the same time, if you do, there can be very severe consequences for all of us. And Putin has already demonstrated that by starting prosecution of a Russian blogger, Belonika, who has family in Odessa. A lot of Russian people feel helpless and terrified. Helpless because they cannot do anything to change this horrible situation, and terrified because of the consequences of what will happen, and being afraid not just to speak up, but even to post anything, to say something, to hold a piece of paper with just 2 words on it, because apparently now in Russia you can arrest it for just having this, a white piece of paper with the words, 2 words in it, written on it. They have arrested children who came to Ukrainian embassy with flowers, and about an 80-year-old grandmother with a paper saying, "Please stop the war." The severity with which Russia deals with its own citizens is unfortunately very telling in how little they care about the citizens. Because if they did, they probably wouldn't have started this special military operation that is causing so much suffering all around the world, including here in the United States, where the gas prices are more than $7 a gallon right now, when it was just 3 something right before it all started. It is such a heavy situation, and it is so hard to find the right words to say anything about this, to say something meaningful, because the truth is that I personally just want people to stop dying unnecessary. I want people to stop suffering unnecessary in the entire world, because there is so much more so much suffering everywhere. And by trying to gain more power and land, we just create more and more of that. But in this entire situation, what gives me strength is seeing people who, despite feeling scared, because I think most of us are feeling scared for different reasons, including the future of our planet and our countries and everything, they're finding the strength to actually come forward and speak up about this. They find strength to go and help other people. They find strength to carry on and to continue to help in any which way they can, any way they can think of, from psychologists who are offering free sessions for people who are suffering from that, to people donating money, crypto, and their physical presence where it is needed the most. What gives me strength is seeing the unity of people coming together against this, what we see as evil. It's unprecedented in so many ways, including even the Swiss stop being not involved into any sides ever, and taking the side of Ukraine and freezing Russian assets. And Germany, who has never before was supportive in providing arms to any country, was always blocking it, and now actually sending the arms to Ukraine. It is very, very sad what is happening right now on so many levels that my English unfortunately fails me in trying to describe how I feel or how much it means. But my only hope is that once it is over, and I hope that it will be over sooner than later, with less lives lost in the process, that as a world, as a humanity, we will come out better of it. That we will finally learn our lessons, and we will learn how to act in a way that is productive to us as a humanity, instead of tearing each other down and killing each other in pursuit of power. Thank you, Lex, for your opportunity to be part of your podcast, or just for you to listen to my thoughts. I hope that it was helpful in any way to you, or what you are trying to do, which is, as far as I see, spread more love and understanding on this platform. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and I hope that you succeed in bringing more love into humanity.